I come to you at the end of a fantastic season. Cotuit Center for the Arts has just had its most incredible summer yet. We went from our highest grossing show ever in Sister Act to what then became our highest grossing act ever when we did Piano Men in August. I'm sure you all remember seeing David Besequin singing Crocodile Rock for us all. We had an incredible array of Broadway performers coming by. Right now on the stage, once I get off of it, they're going to be rehearsing for Elf coming this December, and I can't wait for it. We closed George Gershwin's Of Thee I Sing just last week. It came to immense applause from the audience, and I can't wait for the next thing we bring. And don't forget, next week in the Black Box, we're going to be opening The Zoo Story by Edward Albee, directed by Steve Ross and featuring Bo Jackett and Christopher Schultz. It's going to be a fantastic show, I'm sure. Of course I'm lying about this. You knew these things weren't happening. You might have known because you weren't here for them, and these sound like fantastic events to be at, but you probably knew as soon as I started because of this around my neck, my constant companion. The things I told you were the things that we had planned to do. The beautiful season that back in January we imagined we were going to have, back when the first stories were coming from across the ocean of something sinister brewing in China, something that wouldn't come here, but remember SARS? Remember MERS? Scary stuff. But of course, we would be fine. The beautiful world I'm coming to you from was the beautiful world in here, inside of this magazine, which I had to struggle to find them because by the end of April, we realized it was nothing but recycling material. We didn't save many of them because they don't reflect the world that we live in. Of course, it could be a world we live in. It could be a place very close to the one we have now. Maybe we didn't do Tommy until next year. Maybe the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which we were supposed to perform in May, was not going to happen at all. The people grew on, no one was around for the project, and it didn't happen at all. But it could have happened. It could have happened. If I lived in South Korea, I could have gone and seen Phantom of the Opera. But I'm here. I'm here where David is fighting with everyone he can get his claws on to tell us what we can actually do. And we don't know. Except for this. Except for me here, talking to Emma, talking to David. We don't live in this world. We live in a world where 9,700 people in the Commonwealth have died since March. People who did not have to die. We live in a world where 219,000 have died across this country, my fellow country folk, and they did not have to. We live in a world where 1.1 million people across the planet have died, and it could have been prevented. We don't live in this world. We live in a world where now those who have not died are suffering still. Their lungs don't fill the way they used to. Every day, new research is coming out about long-term effects of a disease that didn't have to get here, that didn't have to get to this point. But we do live in this world. We were so wrong. I remember the weeks leading up to it. I talked about it back in March, how sure we were that we would have an answer, how sure we were that if it gets to Cape Cod, we'll have a plan. We'll figure out what it is that we can do to take care of ourselves. We'll cancel these shows, sure, but by the summer, we'll be back in action. And maybe we'll take a week off of Sister Act and squeeze Tommy into that little slot. Maybe we'll do an extra night of music. We'll do Mondays for music, which we never do, but maybe this time we'll squeeze it in. Okay, we won't have it by early summer, by late summer, surely. We didn't make plans after that. You can only do that so many times before you realize that planning for a future that just continually runs away from you, not only is it a waste of your time and your resources, but it is demoralizing in the extreme. How wrong we were. We had a slew of volunteers in April and May making mask after mask, because we were sure that people were going to come, and some of them were going to say, "Oh, I forgot my mask," and we would say, "Have no fear, our volunteers will hand it to you." We scripted a video showing you what would happen if you came without your mask, the volunteer at the front door greeting you and saying, "Oh, please put one of these on." And instead, they're still stiff from when they were laundered back in May. Well, not all of them. This one was made by our volunteers, and I wear it or its identical twin every day. It has sunflowers on it. They remind me of Emma, so every time I put it on, I'm happy, even though it represents an immense inconvenience and is a bulwark against that word, pandemic. Of course, the mask doesn't do much to protect me. We forget that sometimes in our insistence on wearing them, and the fact that it is such a personal thing for us to pick one out, to put one on. Those who say, "I'm just going to do these sort of blue paper medical ones, it's simple, I like to keep that." Those people who went to Etsy and said, "I need something really fine, I need something really fancy." And those of us who are still working, dealing with this thing, who say, "Are we going to have enough N95 masks to last us to the end of the month? When is our next shipment coming in?" And their administrators and supervisors shake their heads because they don't know. It's still real, and it's still here, and we're still putting these on. And we're putting them on not for ourselves. That's what the science tells us. By putting this on, I am ensuring that should I get sick, I won't transmit it without knowing. I put it on for Emma. I put it on for David and the people that I work with here at Cotuit Center for the Arts. I put it on for the few people who come in to the center every day. And it's so easy. It takes so little. And I've chosen one that makes me smile when I do it. You've been paying attention, I hope, this entire week. And we've been asking again and again, please, we still need your support. We're doing everything we can, and this whole week has been a celebration, not only of what we can still do, but what we have yet to learn, what we still need to know, what we hope to be capable of in the future, because I tell you, you will not be seeing live music, live theater here in the next month, in the next 2 months, and I refuse to guess beyond that. It's fall. It's the season of change. Every time we get to this time of the year, I'm reminded that things do not stay the same forever, and I am so grateful that they don't in this time. The science is working. People are paying attention, not as much as they should have. Again, 1.1 million people died that did not have to die. But how many more if we hadn't done the task of doing something so simple as putting on our masks? I shudder to think about it. Because even though I don't live in this bright, beautiful world, I live in this one, full of color and patterns, full of volunteers who came here to make something for a future that didn't end up coming. I live in a world where art is still alive. You've heard from people all week reminding you why this place is important, why art is important. Put your mask on, and please, make a contribution not for yourself, for the same people you put that mask on. For those same people, donate tonight, donate tomorrow, share this video, because we need to breathe, we need to be safe, and we need art. I'm performing tonight about 2 feet above where I first performed in this space. 7 years ago, in a couple months, I would have been dressed as the Black Knight, right about here, fighting Michael Ernst, as my body parts fell off one by one in our production of Spamalot. And I keep thinking about that, the ghost of this place. How many faces have come through here? How many faces won't come again? And I miss them. But while I'm here, they're alive. Their memory is. And while we have your support, this place stays alive. I don't want to keep you forever. I want to get closer and faster to the time when you can come back here and I can perform for you in person. So please, make a contribution. Wear your damn mask and come back soon. Thank you. Good night.